ready? I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Vita and Chip and Culpy.
We just had a disagreement, y'all.
We did, and I was right. I wish I would have been recording.
I disagree.
How to put it up on Patreon.
What a disgusting album title. Slippery When Wet, Bon Jovi. Here we go. So Bon Jovi. We've never done Bon Jovi. This is one of these, like...
Do you get grossed out when you see those signs at the store, the yellow ones? Tells you...
No, because I associate it with that. But these are rock stars in 1986. I was a baby. We were babies when this came out.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Living on a Prayer. And, yeah, so there you are, Bon Jovi.
Have we listened to him before?
No, we've never listened. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like there was like one song. Okay, this is the only thing.
No, I said 80s, like, hair band or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it's this one dude's band. His name is John Bon Jovi, so it's his band.
I remember, I don't know anything about his music or anything. I just know that my sister worked at this other store in the mall with this older lady, and the older lady was like, she was like put together, you know what I mean? Like she always had her hair perfect, and her makeup looked nice, and like she like was fanboying over John Bon Jovi. I just remember her talking about it, and I was like, who's that? And then I knew that it was somebody that, like, there was some, like, band. But it surprised me because she was older.
Like John Bon Jovi?
John Bon Jovi.
Oh. Well, I was like, man, is it like one of those, you know how they spell things weird?
No. It's John Bon Jovi.
XLTHQ, and the guy's name is like Eric or something like that?
Yeah. Or it's SCH.
It's Bon Jovi.
It's Sism instead of...
It's Sism. It's so hilarious to me that people are so petty.
I was reading through the comments today, and somebody was like, "These two people are brain dead." I would have taken that one over to the taxidermy. The
taxidermist. And done what?
And made a shoulder mount. I was like, whoa, people.
People are bitter as hell, man.
Oh my gosh.
Bitter as hell. Shout out to the bitter motherfucker that's all upset at us and shit. Sorry.
There was like a lot of them.
Casey, my Christian guy, ever since that guy sent that email, he was all gracious and shit.
Yeah.
About swearing. I'm trying not to swear. But you see what these people do?
Yeah, somebody else mentioned that. They're like, Christians? You said shit, and something else was like, we said we were Christians, we never said we were perfect.
Unbelievable. Christianity is for sinners.
Yep. Anyway.
Sinners in reform. We're reforming. Alright, Bon Jovi.
You know, one of these times, honestly, you know what we could do? Is jump on for a very short live stream that's only, like, it's the mean tweets. And, like, you and I just, like, scroll through comments.
We need to do the mean tweets again.
Yeah.
Because Mean Tweets was great. Alright, let's go!
Alright.
Go! Dum, 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 dum.
Go.
Oh, this is live.
We've got to hold on to what we've got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Say, oh, happy then.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
difference. It's okay. Someday, hear what I say. We gotta hold on to what we've got. It doesn't make a difference. We make it or not. We got each other right till the light goes out. So what? We all made it. Take my hand, we made it, I swear.
Why are you pointing at that person?
That was Chris Christie.
Oh.
That's the dude that destroyed Marco Rubio.
Oh.
Remember I showed you that clip when he was like, Marco Rubio says the same thing over and over again, and then in the very next second he said the same thing, and then he did it again. That was the end of Marco Rubio's campaign right there.
Yeah,
okay, anyway.
I remember that. I actually do remember that.
This is...
Everybody looked so happy.
I know. It was really interesting watching these older people, and they're, and it's like, they must have been like our age when this song came out,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's kind of like 1986, so they it's kind of like childhood or whatever. Mm-hmm. This is some inspiring shit, though.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah.
You just picture two young people struggling, and that whole "we're gonna make it, me against the world" type of thing. Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful archetype, man. I liked
the part where he says, "I can never scroll with this one."
It's a magic mouse, babe. Okay.
You got that a magic touch?
You got that a magic touch?
No, scroll. It was the second verse where she said, like, Gina dreams of running away when she cries in the night. Tommy whispers, "Baby, it's okay. Someday." Like, yeah. You're like that, like, because all of a sudden, like, some stuff will start, like, really bothering me, and I feel like that the entire world is collapsing in on me. I'm like, this is the problem, and this is the problem, and this is the problem. And then you'll be like, it's fine. This is gonna work out. And then, but you don't just say it's okay. Like, there's a plan. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, it reminded me of you in that part.
That's the whole, women have a civilizing effect on men, and men have a stabilizing effect on women when the relationship is going the way it should be. Inshallah.
Yeah, nobody was ever able to stabilize me though. Like you're the only one that's doing it.
Well, you don't believe people.
I don't.
You're always like, yeah, Sean, you're full of shit. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. If you're at the helm.
There's still holes in this boat. It doesn't matter how much gum you have.
I woke up this morning and you were like,
yeah, that's because I had been awake most of the night. You fell asleep before me, and I was just laying there. I was like,
I said, that's why we did X, Y, and Z. Because I knew. I calmed you down.
It did. Actually, your hug really did.
Yeah, I know.
Even more than your words.
You're a very physical person. Your leg is on me, and I haven't moved it. Yeah, I love that. I love that whole. This is another thing that you rarely see. Like you rarely see the "we're gonna make it" type of positive music. You know, that's not really there. You know, and that's part of human existence since Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's. Yeah, listen to older music. I feel like I don't know. It's strange because I don't think that all the older music was better than the new music. I don't think that. I think older rap is better than new rap.
Yeah.
You know, like late '90s, early 2000s rap is I just put in Method Man for you. You know, oh, I like this.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Then you should have Cold Lake, Minnesota.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think maybe it has to do with like. Part of me wonders if losing. This is a real stretch, but part of me wonders if like the whole grunge scene. Because this was the 80s and it was a hair metal, and you were able to say a lot of like there was a lot of idealism, I think. There was a lot more idealism in the 80s, and then you had all the neon colors and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't remember the 80s a lot, but like there was a lot of neon colors, and it just seemed to be a lot more optimistic in the 90s.
I think like the whole 80s stuff, I think it like hung on in like the church longer than it did in the rest of the world, because I remember the 80s.
Yeah, and it was,
bright hair,
bright colors, and everything was and then like the 90s came, it was like very, very grungy. And of course you need that to maintain stasis, musically and everything, but it's almost like the pendulum didn't swing backwards to, okay, let's have those positive, let's have those optimistic elements again and find some way to say, this is what we hope for, which is kind of like 80s music and everything's about fun or whatever, and then this is how life is and we're struggling through it, which is, I think, very relevant. Jeremy is an 11, Black is an 11, King Spirit. I think, I don't think we've like collectively been able to do both, or I've never seen a band that was able to do both. Because this stuff right here is like immediately I started looking at the lyrics. I'm like, oh, it's a guy and a girl and they're struggling through stuff and everything. And I'm like, one of my friends is going through their own crisis, and I said, it's like Cheney said, don't waste a good crisis. It's good for you guys because they're just starting out,
Right.
And so we have our own little mini crises and people that we need to fight and dragons that we need to slay and giants that need to die. And so I'm glad, I'm grateful for that. It's good. And like I had to do something, and I was in a room full of 6 attorneys and I did great. And I'm fully convinced it's because you were praying for me, because you were the only human being on the planet that knew that I was going there. I didn't tell anybody else.
Oh, you told them after.
I told them after. You were the only one that knew. So I was like, so I went in there and I was just like, all right, Sori's there. I knew that you were praying for me. I was like, all right, I got this. And of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he was with me. And it was just like, all right. But it's really interesting because the song is about living on a prayer, which presuming you're praying to God.
Yeah.
And then you got your girl with you. Like, that's it. What else do you need? What else do you need? That's it. Khalas. You know what I mean? So it's a really cool, it's a really cool idea. That archetype of the man and woman together struggling through stuff and being able to overcome it and realizing what's important. You know, like, and it says we're halfway there. Why do you think they're halfway there?
Well, it said at the beginning that he used to work on the docks, but that the union was on the strike. So then he wasn't able to work at that point. And so she was working at the diner all day, really probably hard on your feet, you know, like serving customers, and you can do an awesome job and somebody can still give you this horrible tip, you know. So I halfway there to me was like there was light at the end of the tunnel, like things were, it wasn't, you know, their situation wasn't going to always stay the same. Sometimes when you're in the middle of a situation, you feel like it's never going to change, but it's not true. Like, time goes on and things do change. Like you, you know, there's no.
It's really
dark places. There's ways out of dark places or hard times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes longer than you want.
It's really interesting because their roles kind of. He was working on a dock, but you know they're on strike. And so then the pressure now falls on her to make ends meet until, you know, he can figure something out, which is really, you know, sometimes it bees like that. And then he's got his guitar and he's not playing it anymore. But yeah, it's a very, very, very simple song, but it's like a really, there was this guy my mom used to listen to, and he was just talking about like the struggle. Like in the 80s, he's this white dude, I don't know what his name was, but my mom used to talk about him all the time. And he was the only white dude my mom would listen to, because my mom only listened to Bob Marley. We had Bob Marley in the house, you know, and then we had...
You never played Bob Marley?
No, I never played Bob Marley.
Why? You don't like him?
No, I love Bob Marley, I just don't play it. But, so my mom would play Bob Marley, and then worship music, that was it. But then there was this one white dude, and then there was this one white lady, I forgot what her name was. And my mom whispered some of the lyrics to me, and she's like, "Isn't that terrible?" I had no idea what it meant. Probably some euphemism for being for misbehaving, but I didn't know what it meant. So I was like, "Yeah, Mom, yeah."
Dorian would do something like that.
I was like, "Absolutely terrible." She's like, "I know, don't tell your brother."
Don't tell your brother.
Right? I did. I went to my brother and said, "Hey, listen, man. If a girl were to come up to you and say, what does that mean?"
Did he tell you?
No. He's like, "You're always watching stuff you shouldn't watch."
I wish you knew what it was.
I had no idea what the phrase was. Anyway, there's this white dude that my mom talked about all the time, and he was always talking about the struggle and the union and, you know, all that shit and how tough it was, but we're gonna make it because we're Americans or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's stuff like this where you're like, yeah. You know, people need that type of positivity. When you're going through a crisis, you know, like a lot, like in relationships, like people misinterpret. Of course, for us, you know, there's a whole narrative that we're caught up in. So if something bad is happening, we always say, well, God has some purpose for it, some meaning, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you're trying to squeeze out as much of the purpose as you possibly can. And we're able to look back and say, wow, you know, this and this happened, and this and all this conspired together, and now we have, you know, Orion, you know, on the way in Sheldon. So, you know, but you don't necessarily have to be a Christian. You don't necessarily have to be a Christian to say, like, when you're in a relationship, to say, okay, babe, we can make this tear us apart or bring us closer together.
Yeah.
And my take on halfway there was, you know, everybody talks about making it, because that's there's a line in the song about, we'll make it, I swear.
I
think he says it right there, right? Living on a prayer, take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. And it's like, what does make it mean? You know, does it mean, you know, make it out of this particular trial, or does it mean make it to this specific goal? Right? So like our goal is full time, so, you know, I'm not worried about the other stuff when, you know, we're trying to take care of the baby or whatever. So that's making it. But at the same time, we have an immediate type of looming issue that we have to deal with. And then I had a looming issue that I had to deal with, you know, last week. And so I think make it means both of those. We're going to make it through the little, things that pop up, and then we're gonna make it to our ultimate goal. So when he says we're halfway there, I think the point of the song is, if you have somebody that you actually love, and that they're with you in the midst of your whatever it is, whether it's a trial you have to make it through or a goal that you have to make it to, then you're already halfway successful.
Huh.
Because, okay, let's say you overcome that trial.
So you're saying that the halfway there means that they're together in it, so they're already halfway.
We're already halfway. It's already halfway there. And then the other side, to me, it's crazy because the other side is the prayer is going to make up the other difference.
He said it doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We've got each other, and that's a lot for love.
Right.
So yeah, I see what you're saying. Could be.
But what's interesting is he says, but we are going to make it.
We'll make it, I swear.
So I think that's really important. And then you have to say to yourself, okay, what's your ultimate goal? What is making it the ultimate goal? So then I say, okay, my ultimate goal is no matter what happens to be with you. Period. Full stop. That's the goal. So if we get full time, great. If this happens, that happens, it's me and you. Boom. That's it. That's what it is. That's what it means to make it. So then when I get to the end of everything, if I still look over and you're still there, then I'm good. Then we made it. See what I'm saying? So, they could be interpreted a lot of different ways, but I think he starts off with the struggle of both of them to kind of like it centers the relationship, and then it centers what's important.
I think for me it's always like I want us to be happy there.
Together. Yeah.
And if we're not happy, that makes me sad. So I don't like not being happy.
You don't say. You don't like not being happy. Yeah, no, I agree.
For me, like, if we're like happy, even if stuff's falling apart or things are not like working out, I'm good. Like, that's okay. Like, we've got each other.
Right.
But when it's like, we're having a hard time or whatever, that's when it's like hard because it feels like now everything's falling apart and nothing's gonna work.
You're so true.
I become a nihilist. There's no meaning in life.
It's all meaningless.
It's all meaningless.
Yeah.
Why are we?
Let's listen to some. What was it, Electric Wizard? Let's listen to some Electric Wizard. Allahu Akbar. Hey, little child, would you like to be depressed? Would you like to be sad? Would you like to think that everything is meaningless and a waste of time? Well, we have the song for you.
Yeah. Solutions are here.
All right, what do you get the song?
9.
9? I feel like this is a 10. And it's a 10. There's a lot of reasons for a 10, One of the things is you put it in a vault and open it up, it's still a good song. I still think that was a good song.
No, I do. The only thing, his voice didn't capture me.
I mean, half of it was the crowd. I mean, I'm sure if we listened to the live, I mean, the voice, the crowd was singing the main part of the chorus, which was really impressive to me. But then I was like, well, there's not a lot of words, so it's not like Danny Filth. If Danny Filth went like this and everybody was like, yes, the perpendicular diameter of the circumference of her hips was swaying in the wind and the moonlight struck her raven eyes as I went down and, then I'd be like, oh shit. But this was just, yeah, but it's a 10 because I feel like the theme is important, and I feel like that's an undersung theme and an underused archetype in rock and roll. There needs to be more Bonnie and Clyde stuff, Jay-Z and Beyonce. All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend. Look for me, and I ain't perfect. Nobody walking on this earth's surfaces, but girlfriend, work with the kid. What?
I think it's cute when you do that.
Now he ain't got to worry. Only worry is Vin. Should do anything necessary for Vin, and I do anything necessary for her. So don't let the necessary occur. Yep. All right, it's 10 for me.
I would give it a 10 for like content, but a 9 because I didn't love his voice. Like,
okay, so what is it? 9.5.
2 scores. Okay, 9.5.
All right, 10. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.